Hopkins High School tonight. It's boys lacrosse on CCX. Royals host the Wayzata Trojans in late conference action. The regular season is winding down rapidly. I'm Steve Thomas along with Dan Ficken, and you look at the Wayzata Trojans 2-8 coming into this one. They might be the best 2-8 team in the state.
They might be, considering the fact too they lost 7 out of the top 10 scorers from last year. They've had injuries. Every team they've played, and I mean everyone, wins and losses, they all have winning records with one team at 500. No team on their schedule has a losing record.
Chad Herr is an outstanding coach, Dan. He's been here before. He had this team in the state quarterfinals a year ago, and they're dangerous.
Well, they definitely are. They've been in State 3 the past 4 years, and they've always had a good tradition. And, you know, when you have that, you don't think you're going to lose. You're going to keep playing through. They got some bad breaks, some things went the wrong way, but he's a good enough coach that these guys are better than what their record's showing right now by a long shot.
Hopkins 3-7 this season, and this is a program that continues to build.
Well, they're working on it. I mean, they've got some young kids on this team right now. The 3 games they won, the teams are combined 8-19, 1 loss. So it's been a little tough for them, and late conference has been especially brutal. They've given up 46 goals against late conference teams. It's been tough for them, but you know they've got to keep persevering, keep working through it. Their numbers are down a little bit this year, but they'll keep growing, and you know they've got a goaltender that we saw last year. This game really played a good game, but he's going to have to be big tonight.
All right, it's Hopkins hosting Wayzata. Boys lacrosse coming up tonight on the CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
It is an ideal night for lacrosse. A little bit of a breeze, as you may hear in some of our microphones tonight. And we're getting the starters announced for tonight's game between Wayzata and Hopkins here at Hopkins. Just ideal conditions. And, you know, early in the year, these teams fought the weather, and here we are coming up on the end of the regular year for Hopkins. Wayzata tonight at Providence on Saturday, and then home to Minneapolis here in Hopkins on Tuesday. Meanwhile, for Wayzata, they're here at Hopkins, and then they close it out at home a week from tonight against Stillwater, and then it's on to sections. It's going quick.
Yeah, but that Stillwater game, so they're number 2 rated team in the state right now. You know, they're just going through the gauntlet. But, yeah, sections are going to get started here, and it's going to be a real mixed brew here, and especially in those section meetings. There's teams with losing records, Steve, that are going to get high seeds in that section simply because of the strength of the schedule they're playing.
And the lake is so tough in every sport, fall, winter, spring. Boys lacrosse, no exception. Minnetonka number 1, Eden Prairie 5, Edina 7. Here we have Wayzata and Hopkins. And as we mentioned at the top, Dan, Wayzata 2-8, but this is a good lacrosse team.
Oh, yeah. You know, they, like I said, they've been to state. They've had some things go bad. They've had a lot of injuries. I noticed when I was doing scats that a lot of guys have played only 7-6 games, you know, for them, and leading scorers. And again, they're well coached, they're disciplined, and the reason you know that is you look at their defense. They're only given 7.9 goals per game. Considering who they've played on their schedule, that's an amazing feat. They're playing good defense, and that can leapfrog you into a situation at the end of the year here where you can get to the glory, you can get back to state, etc. So they're playing very, very well that way.
Yeah, they've given up no more than 10 goals all season long, and they've done that a couple of times this season, but 10 goals against elite competition is not a lot.
No, it's not. It's not. You know, they've got a couple good things. Chad's been here a long, long time. You get a picture of him now on your screen, and he knows what he has. And We got a picture of Todd Frickman, the coach here for Hopkins, and kind of a building thing. He's got 4 freshmen, 4 9th and 10th graders right now playing on this team regularly. 12 seniors, but only 3 juniors. So they're going to have some rebuilding after this year, and we'll see how they do. They're going to go with Hugh Day in the net, and we'll get a look at his numbers in a little while. But one of the nice players, Chris Thomas, number 7 for Wayzata here, one of the best Fogo face-off specialists in the state.
And Thomas controls, and Thomas will trot off the field, and Wayzata gets set up. They're in blue here on the road at Hopkins. Hopkins, of course, in the white here tonight as we get underway in quarter number 1. Controlling on top, Jake Schneider, a couple of goals this year. Swings it to the right. Wayzata around the perimeter. They go behind the net, come to the near side. Here's Thomas Seyfert. 11 goals on the season for Wayzata. Not a high-scoring team, and a lot of balance in the scoring department. The leading scorer for them, Braden Nelson, with 17 on the year, 6 assists. As they swing it around, Luke Marquardt, very patient on the perimeter, and good defense is playing keep away on offense. They get it in the middle. Here's a shot and a goal. Jake Schneider is 3rd of the year.
Boy, nice setup. That was a long pass over the top, basically. And usually they come in from the wing attack on the sides, is usually where they set up the attack. But they went up top and came right down the middle. The good pass up here, right onto the stick, and the arms got extended and just ripped it into the upper corner there.
So Schneider, the goal 55 seconds in, and Wayzata has a 1-0 lead. And we'll go out to the middle of the field. Thomas for Wayzata. 150 draws coming in. 185 of those already has a face-off win here tonight. And a tall order for Adam Cochran for Hopkins, and he wins another one.
I think he ended up last year winning 70% of the face-offs that he took, and a little bit of a down year this year. But sometimes it takes people to help you out too. You just can't lay it out straight. Sometimes you need to pass it to somebody and move it to somebody's area to pick it up.
Save for good battle and a win here along the sideline. Good defense there. And now they set it up. Andrew Getz out on top, swings it to the right. This is Marquardt. As Wayzata, they just kind of go around the perimeter, and now we got a ground ball. Seifert with it. Wayzata controls and running out of there with it, getting it set up in front again. And it comes to the goaltender, Hugh Day. You mentioned Hugh Day, 0-3 on the year, 12.67 goals against, save percentage of .525. They'll need a big game out of Day here tonight. Here's Hopkins with their first attack. Jackson James, their leading goal scorer, with 11 on the year. Now they get it down behind the net. And it's important for Hopkins to maintain control, Dan.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. It's the one way they're going to keep Wayzata off the board, keep them down in their zone rather than in Hopkins' zone here. Wayzata plays great defense, though.
And they're not afraid to attack. Zeminski with the long pole, watching that guy behind the net. Now here's Wayzata on the attack. This is James. James turned away and then threw it away. We got a ground ball. Is it picked up? And who's going to get that one? It's going to go out of bounds. And Hopkins is going to hang on. That one was knocked out of play by Soraka. Cade Soraka, a defender for Wayzata, just bumped it out of bounds. And let's see what Hopkins is able to do here. Jacob Reiner, 10 goals, second on the team. Has it on the near side. He tries to beat the defender and then is ultimately turned away. Out on top, Cole Crystal for the Royals. 3-7 on the year. Wins over St. Louis Park, Southwest Christian, and St. Paul. They have a few under their belt. They'll be at Providence, as we mentioned, on Saturday, and then home to Minneapolis.
And Providence is a much improved team this year. They have a winning record, which I think it's the first time in 4 years they've had a winning record. So that'll be a test for the Hopkins Royals here.
That one pops out of bounds off Hopkins, and they weren't able to get a shot away. James wasn't able to control along the far side. And now it goes to Wayzata, and that is a costly turnover. So they had a little possession time, but no shots. Danny Fraga, the Wayzata goalie, 2-8. 7-8-2 goals against, save percentage of .584.
Wayzata's long poles have traditionally been very good, been very mean. They make you pay for every opening you get.
Wayzata getting it set up behind their own net. Braden Ellison, their leading scorer, trying to find room in front. Gets a shot at a tough angle away, blocked away by Day. Braden Ellison, 17 goals, wanted number 18. Wayzata hangs on. Goes over the end line. Trojans had a man deep. They swing it to the right. Pretty good pass and a shot and a goal. Andrew Getz is second of the year.
Boy, all of a sudden, that's really what they've been needing too. As far as a whole bunch of people starting to put the ball in the net. Gets it, sets up quick, gets the arms extended, and just rips it from far out. And boy, I'll tell you what, those are saves that need to get made here. Those are really far out shots, and he's getting beat up high. Day is by Wayzata. Both their shots have been up high in the corner, Steve.
Assist by Solly. Time of the goal, 4:20 here in quarter number 1, 2-0 Wayzata. So it's Getz from Solly. Andrew Solly, his 7th assist of the season. And once again, Chris Thomas wins another one, 3 in a row. And he is the man, and he's on the charge. On the attack, swings over to the far side. Here's Braden Ellison. And the strategy's been simple. They've just worked it around the perimeter for a while until they get a good look. Why not?
Trying to figure out where the slides are going to come from, where it's going to happen. I would imagine before too much longer, they'll start unleashing some dodges here to see what they can do.
Nice pass into the middle. They go a little further down low. They got it into Braden Ellison. And then Parker Wolf couldn't handle it. Wayzata hangs on. There's a cutter. Zachary Clark. Maybe that was Harrison Dow. That was Dow, actually. And Wayzata battling. Nelson trying to come up with it. Does. Gives it up. Trojans maintain. Going to the front, trying a shot and going down is Andrew Solly. Solly almost went down. Good balance there, and Hopkins comes up with it. And then they have it knocked away. And here comes Wayzata. This is Seaford.
Long stick right there, just sticking it right in the ribs and just kind of pinning the Royals player back until he gave the ball up.
They work the perimeter again. This is Dow, a sophomore. Sophomore midi. They're just kind of probing right now. There is a pass inside. It hits the ground. Who's going to be able to control? And let's see if Wayzata can. Hopkins grabs it. And they'll try pass ahead, and that hits the ground. And here's Wayzata right back. Soraka. He's on the move. Gives it up to his right. They got a ground ball, gets it back and scores. How about that? Cade Soraka, the senior, gets a goal.
Just a nice follow-up. Good move by the long stick coming up. Just got it into the zone and moved it around. Soraka picks it up, I think, on a drop ground ball situation. Yeah, right there. Picks it up and just goes right at the net, brings it up and shoots right off the bat.
First goal of the year for him. Cade Soraka, time of the goal comes at 6:26. And it has been all Wayzata, and a big reason has been Chris Thomas.
Yeah, he's
just dominant.
Yeah. I love seeing Soraka, too, a long stick, get an opportunity and put the ball in the net.
And he lost the handle, got it back, and scored the goal. So give him credit. And we got another face-off win for Chris Thomas. Ultimately control.
Oh, man. He's slick, ain't he? Boy, I tell you what, the kid never gives up. He's relentless.
And as you pointed out over the years, Dan, I mean, that is an important role, and you can play at the next level if you can dominate the face-offs.
I might have to go down and wake up Danny Fraga in the Trojan net. He hasn't seen any balls or anything so far in this game, and we're quite a ways into the first quarter.
Gets. Comes to the near sideline. That's Safert. Cut her down the middle. Good defense there by Hopkins. But Thomas Safert picks it up. Here's a shot from the right side, and that goes wide. And Wayzata's going to hang on as Safert retrieves below the end line.
Wayzata working out of a standard 2-3-1 offensive set. And it's worked so far for them. They've scored 3 goals off it.
Yeah, they have just dominated in the attack zone so far. And when there has been a ground ball, they've been able to pick it up. That's Andrew Getz, who had it a moment ago. Wearing number, Getz gets it back. They swing it around. Here's Andrew Solly. Getz out on top, swings to the right. Look at a shot. Jake Schneider took a shot to the head, no call.
Oh, they almost had it.
Try to get it to the side. They're getting it a little bit closer each time. Another ground ball picked up by Wayzata. They go to the side of the net. Oh, shot there by Andrew Solly, knocked away at the last second. They go to the end line, pick it up neatly. That was a pretty good play.
Oh, that ball movement was just fabulous, and it got the Hopkins sliding the wrong way, or moving too much over to the right, and it came back to the left, and they almost pulled one.
Here's Safert. Now they get it back out on top. Getz had it for a moment. Safert, or I should say Getz, cutting in, shot over the net. I think Day had that one measured for Hopkins, goaltender. And now they'll try it again.
That's the voice of UD and the goaltender that you're listening to, and exactly what a goaltender in lacrosse got to do. He's got to direct his defensive traffic. He's got to let him know where to be, what he's looking at.
Safert gets a lot of touches. Solly, Andrew Solly, back to the middle. Here's Getz, a sophomore. Wayzata very patient. Lead at 3-0, quarter number 1. Here's one from the side, and that one whistles wide. That was really a tough angle. And the shot attempted there by Braden Ellison, the senior. Once again, 17 goals to lead Wayzata this year. They have 2 other double-digit scorers.
Yep, that's it.
Safert, Solly. That one goes over the middle of the field. That'll be a Hopkins ball. Hopkins hasn't had it a lot. Let's see what they can do here. And I think at some point they just got to get a shot away.
Well, at least get some time in the offensive zone. You know, I mean, move the ball around a little bit. Keep people moving.
There's James way out on the left. Now they come to the near side. Wayzata very aggressive defensively. That is not a surprise that they are just going to hound the person with the ball. They're just not going to let them get set up. Here's Reiner. Rainier, excuse me. 10 goals, once again, second on the team. And now they get it back out to James.
Okay, now everybody in the Hopkins offense touched the ball, which Wayzata's been doing on a regular basis. So now they're going to try and set up and create something.
James, a big kid, double team comes, can't get his shot away. Now another double team comes, but Wayzata is able to hang on. Pretty good play there as the Trojans spin out of trouble. And a good sign here as the first quarter winds down. Hopkins, they just have not been able to get it inside anywhere near Fraga. Ball down again, Rainier. That one goes over the end line. It'll be Wayzata ball. Well, there the Trojans' defense pays off. They still haven't given up a shot on Fraga.
Nope. You see some of the youth and the way they move, though, too, in the Hopkins team. Nobody's really getting open. They tried some risky stuff into the middle. You're going to have to draw a slide to get them off balance. Wayzata, they don't make that mistake very often.
Here's Clark carrying to the middle of the field and continues into the attack zone. They get set up. And they'll go down low. Safert with it. Once again, he always gets plenty of touches when they're on the attack as they work the perimeter again. Right now, counterclockwise. They just kind of go around the net. Solly. And now further out on top, Clark. Once again, they just move the ball quickly, even if they're not being challenged.
Yeah.
Just keep moving it. Oh, there's almost a wild one knocked down nicely by Seifert.
Oh,
He'll get to the front. His shot goes wide. Well, he made a good save on a pass and then made a charge to the front. He'll get it back. Let's see what he does. Spins, gets in front. That one's kicked away. And that's going to be the quarter, and Wayzata dominates quarter number one, leading Hopkins 3-0. Boys lacrosse here on a Thursday night continues in a moment on the CCX.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
We are back. Quarter number two coming up. All Wayzata 3-0. Schneider, Getz, and Soraka with the goals. First goal, 55 seconds in. Then a goal at 4:20, and then at 6:26. Hopkins did get a little zone time, but no shots yet on Wayzata goaltender Danny Fraga. He might feel like the Maytag repairman right now.
After that first quarter, yeah, he didn't see one single shot. And boy, I'll tell you that the Trojan defense has got a little mean and nasty to them, and they're forcing them into making mistakes, and they can't get in the middle. They just can't. You know, maybe you start out winging a few shots from the outside. Try a bounce shot or two to see if you can get Fraga to crack a little bit. He hasn't seen much of the ball, but they got to move the ball around, like you said, Steve. They really do, and get the Wayzata defense off balance. Get them to make a slide the wrong way, and then bring it back.
And as we move through tonight, we'll take a look at section play for Wayzata, and they're going to be in that section with Maple Grove, St. Michael, Albertville, and others, and we'll get into that. But Wayzata will be a factor in that section. And by the way, here on the CCX on Monday night, we got a Dandy Blaine at Maple Grove.
Yeah.
Boys lacrosse. That could be it for all the marbles in the Northwest Suburban.
I can't wait to do that game. That should be really good. If you got some time, folks, tune in. It should be an exciting game for all the marbles in the Northwest Suburban.
Yeah, a couple of good teams, and of course Wayzata at some point could meet up with Maple Grove come section time. And there's Thomas again. And Thomas had to battle and finally comes out of that center circle. Now we got a flag, and this is going to go on Hopkins, and I would think Hopkins is going to go a man down.
Yep.
We'll see. Here's a quick shot, and that one's blocked away but controlled by the Wayzata Trojans. Now attacking the goal down to our right, wearing the blue, leading at 3-0. And they have been so good here, cutting to the front, and a shot and a goal. Beautiful play on the side, and getting the first goal of the game, Andrew Solly, his first goal of the game, and Solly has 11 on the year.
Had a breakout season last year, really stepped up, and, you know, again, he's just second leading scorer in the team. You see a nice move there, a little sidearm action, and brings it into the right side of the net. Good move on his part.
Yeah, Solly found the seam and took advantage of it. And it's 4-0 Wayzata.
Well, there you go again. I mean, quarter ends, goes back to a face-off. Oops.
Yeah.
Wayzata gets the ball again.
And Chris Thomas now 5 for 5 here tonight. And a tall order for Adam Cochran for Hopkins. And we'll have to see if they switch it up. And here's Thomas with a clean win. Gives it up on the right. They get it down low, and a shot and a save by
Nice.
Gay.
And actually, considering everything, Day has done a good job for the Royals in net. I mean, he's made 3 big saves. I mean, they could be up by 4 more goals easy.
And Day comes out of there. Nice pass ahead. A good clear there by Day. Makes the save. And then that one's partially blocked. And that one goes over the line. And here comes Wayzata quickly. Solly in. And a goal. I believe that's Solly on the side. It is. Solly 2 in a row. And that feed comes from Seifert. And Seifert now really playing a big role in this game.
Solly kind of using Braden Nelson there as kind of a decoy and stuff, and the goalie didn't know he was going to pass or shoot it, and he took the shot and he beat him. Must have been the right decision.
Time of the goal, 1:10, and just like that, it is 5-0 Wayzata. Solly 2 in a row. Wayzata, 2 quick goals here. And, you know, that play was just made by Seifert as he exploded up the left side and found Solly.
Yep.
And here's Thomas again, another clean draw win. Right down the middle, gives it up to Solly. They get it behind the net, and now they're going to set it up. And Solly really feeling it right now, and why not? He's a senior.
Well, I think he's key, and the other part too is Seifert in back, on the X position back there too. He's as good an X-man as is. Did he just hit the post?
Yeah, that's a little bit of pipe there. That was a big shot from Getz outside, and I have a feeling we might see that again, maybe. But that got by Day, kind of kicked out the leg, and it hit pipe. There's Solly, another shot. That one whistles wide, but they got a man deep. That's Seifert. And he's ready to go. Then I'll work it up the near side. Braden Nelson. Here's a shot. That's whistled by Jake Schneider. And now they're so active. These guys really smell it now, and an opportunity to pile up some goals here. They get it in the middle, and a goal for Getz. Good feed from behind to Getz right down the middle. Second for Getz.
Great cut move as he came through. He ain't one of the bigger human beings in the world, but he came down the guts and took the pass and got rid of it quick. Buried it in the net. Good play by Seifert there, too. I mean, having a guy in back that can see the field, can get it to the cutter who's coming through a whole mess of sticks is more valuable than you can imagine. I mean, Seifert just made a great play there, got it to Getz, and he buried it.
3 goals in 2:05. Wayzata has doubled their lead from quarter number 1. It is 6-0, and here's Thomas again. What a magician. And he comes out of there again. Wow, what an advantage. His pass ahead, though, knocked down and picked up by Cole Crystal for Hopkins. And then we got to stop. And I think Hopkins is going to take a timeout. Oh, we have a timeout here on the field.
Hopkins called the timeout.
Yeah, and it was kind of a freight train running downhill on them.
Yeah.
Chris Thomas has been dominating them in the face-off circle. And now they get it back and take a timeout and try and regroup. And right now they just trying to get a shot in on Danny Fraga.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he got the turnover. Thomas won it again, but they got the turnover, and the Hopkins coach, smart enough, Fricklin just said, that's it, timeout. I want to talk to my boys now. We got to keep possession here. So they'll go over some strategy for possession and setting up a shot. They haven't had a decent shot on net the entire night yet, so they got to get over that hump.
Yeah, great weather for Lacrosse, a little bit of a breeze, 70 degrees. Winds out of the north at 13, and you can sense after a warm day today, things are changing a little bit. It looks like we're going to see a ton of rain over the weekend. Hopefully things dry out for that big one on Monday night. I want to bring that one up again. Blaine at Maple Grove on Monday night here on CCX Boys Lacrosse. That's going to be a dandy. So hopefully that rain moves out of here this weekend. But yeah, great night. And the crew deserves it after what they put up earlier this spring.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. But I'll tell you what, I'm really glad you mentioned that game versus the rain again.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You start getting weather like this, you start getting spoiled. And, I've been out on a lacrosse field when I've had to wear a winter coat and it's a blizzard out there, or getting soaked to death as it poured rain, because the only thing that stops a lacrosse game basically is lightning. Yeah. And if it's pouring, that's too bad. You play.
Yeah, the elements not generally a factor. Lightning, as you pointed out, the only thing. There are some sports like that, soccer, football, come to mind where they play no matter what. Softball, baseball, not so much. And going down there as the leading scorer is Jackson James. He sticks with it, and he's going to pick it up, and he's on the attack. He's a big kid, and he can score it. And he does, loses a handle. He's being chased by 2 Trojans. Gets to the front, tries a shot, gets hammered. We got no flag. And he's ailing a little bit. Hopkins maintains. Jackson laws to shoe. He's right in front of the net trying to gather himself. He took a lick. And that's quite a shot, him being chased by 2 Trojans there.
You think that the Trojans know he's the leading scorer for Hopkins? Well, they had 2 guys on him like now.
Look at this. And watch his play as he gets to the front, tries a shot, goes down. His shoe popped off.
Well, when you go to step in front of the net, you might as well score because you're going to pay the price.
Look at, it looks like Wayzata is going to go a man down here.
Yeah, they should. I think it was a slash coming across.
Yeah, it's Zach Larry, junior defense for Wayzata. So that is the first of the game.
Well, Jackson James made a nice move there, and he did what a leading scorer is supposed to do. He got out and he created himself a shot, and just good raw speed, took the beating as he went around it and got a shot off. Just couldn't quite cash in now. Now, very key for Hopkins here. Man up, move that ball quickly.
If they can move it around, how Wayzata will do defensively. They hate to give up goals. There's James. They want to get it to James in a good spot to shoot. James sneaks in, gets a shot. Big save by Fraga. First shot, first save. Fraga was up to it. Hopkins gets it back. Quick shot there inside by Rainier. And then it's finally controlled by one of the long poles for Wayzata coming out of there. Zeminski. Connor Zeminski, a junior.
Oh, man.
Wayzata moves it up quickly. Seifert, they get it out on the left. Here's Solly, a shot and a goal. Andrew Solly, his 3rd goal of the quarter. And it's now 7-0 Wayzata. What a transition goal.
Well, just the clear itself was just fabulous. They get it in the middle of the net, or middle of the crease. They one back pass by the long stick. He moved it up the field real quickly. Ends up in Solly's stick, and guess what happens? Bang, it ends up in the back of the net.
Solly on a roll. Came in with 10 goals, has 3 tonight, all in quarter number 2, and leads at 7-0.
Yeah, with all the bodies in front of Day there, it had to be hard to pick up coming in from the bottom like that. You know, usually you're watching for the stick to go up over the top. This one came in low.
And here is Thomas again. This has been something to watch in the face-off circle. And that one pops out of there and ends up with the Royals. How about that?
Okay, Adam Cochran, attaboy. Keep working it hard. Battle him every way you can.
That pops out of there. Hopkins gets it. They finally got a shot on Fraga, and it was a good one, but he made the save. Jackson James ripped one, but he had it measured. Now they get it outside. Here's Cole Crystal. Comes to the near side, picked up by Landshut. A couple of goals this year. Landshut's taking the face-off, charges in, got shoved down, and on the shove there was Thomas. Thomas wasn't happy losing that draw. He had to take it out on somebody. And now let's see if Hopkins can control. On that man-up situation, they were able to get a good look for James. And Fraga made the save, and that one squirts out of bounds, and that's going to be Hopkins' ball.
Oliver Bernstein, not one of the bigger players on the planet, but toughing it out.
That one goes over the end line and out of play. now Wayzata has it. Goes over the end line and see what the Trojans do. Trotting out of there is Saminsky.
Oh. Long pass right on target.
Braden Ellison hasn't scored. Trying to get to the front. Loses it. We got a ground ball. It's picked up by Seifert. They get it out on top. And now they're going to set up shop. Here's Clark. Goes across. And Seifert. There's a shot, skips wide by, goes behind the net, picked up by Wayzata. Here's a tough shot and a save by Day. He got down low and made the save, and he's had some good ones tonight.
He has. The score could be a lot worse. It could be double digits right now.
And they get it ahead. Here's Hopkins trying to get it set up. Good defense there as they battle. Ground ball. And it's picked up by Hopkins. Here's Rainier. Rainier loses it. It was swatted away there by Colin Hansen. Hansen came over and knocked it away for the Trojans. No one can seem to gain control. There's a ton of bodies on that far side. A lot of sticks. And then it's finally picked up by James.
Nice. Nice pickup by James. You're going to get good luck. Watch this save. I love it. He did the splits. He did a hockey goaltender move. That away, Mr. Day. Well done.
Yeah, Hugh Day, a junior, doing a really good job. Has faced a lot of shots this year, but been up to the task.
Well, and considering that, he's got a 5.25 save percentage. In lacrosse, that's good. He's saving better than, more than half the shots that are being thrown at him. So he's doing a good job for him. That's that. They just got to get something generated offensively here, and I think that timeout is another good one too. But and thinking was that, I mean, they've won the last 4 meetings. Last year it was 19-0. So you can only take them so much. That finally you want to break out here. The girls program has been dominated too, but they won in 2017, 8-7 in a close game. But the boys team hasn't had the success against Wayzata that. Yeah, normally they could get one, in 5 years they get one anyway, but it hasn't worked out that way.
Earlier tonight in girls lacrosse, Wayzata beat Hopkins 15-5. Charlie Beatty and Dan had the call on that one. And Wayzata dominating, running time toward the end of that one. And Wayzata in command here. 5:18 to go, quarter number 2. They lead at 7-0. The story, Andrew Solly, 3 goals here in the quarter. First coming just 34 seconds in. And Hopkins has had some opportunities. They're able to get James in a man-up situation and a pretty good shot. And now they're going to come out of this timeout, and let's see what they can do on the attack if they can beat Danny Fraga.
It's just nasty defense on the Trojans' part. They just play very, very tough defense.
And they are so aggressive. Look at him hound James right now. Larry all over him. James got inside. Double team comes. Ground ball, and it's picked up there. Good job by Weiner.
Larry did a tremendous job on James there, too. He just would not let him go. And Larry's not one of the bigger guys on it, but he knew how to use his body and his stick effectively.
Fraga with the long clear. They can't save it. So an unforced error. I think we haven't seen a lot of that. Maybe the first unforced error on Wayzata. Let's see if Hopkins can take advantage. And they're just all over the ball. Joel Matthews battling. Hopkins maintains. They get it out on top. Here's Crystal. Gives it up on the right. And now trotting around, Adam Cochran. He had a face-off win against Chris Thomas. And he's going to pull his way through. And get it behind the net.
I like this. You can hear the coaches talking to the Royals. Move the ball, move the ball.
Yeah, Wayzata not giving him a lot of room coming out there to meet the ball. Colin Hansen.
Oh, be ready.
Hopkins trying to get a shot in on Fraga.
Hey,
Under 4 to go here in quarter number 2.
Get through, Troy. Get through, Adam. Show.
Renier trying to get to the front, turned away. Like, good defense there by Wayzata. They just won't let anyone near Cade
Soraka, yeah. The goal scorer, but playing really tough D, his main forte.
Yeah, he just was not going to let him by, and, you know, using his stick so effectively.
Yep. Well, you get in on the hands of the stick, and then you close with your body. Move into it, so your fist, you're glove to glove with, you know, the opponent with the ball.
Here's Jackson James. He gets in, shot, saved by Fraga. He went down, knocked it away. Big save there. 2 shots, 2 saves. And they've come off the stick of James. Here's another shot from outside, another save by Fraga, this time from Cochran. And he's going to trot off. He takes the majority of the face-offs for them. Hopkins is going to get it. Here's Renier, way down in the corner. They've been able to maintain for quite a while right now and get a couple of shots away. So a little positivity for the Royals here. Bacagnini, he gets a shot. Easy save for Fraga. That took a Sunday hop. Here comes Fraga out of the goal, all the way to midfield and beyond. Danny Fraga out of the net. Continues to maintain. Is he going to give it up? He loses the handle, gets it back, goes right down the middle, loses it again. How about that?
Yeah, see, it makes some moves here. This will definitely make a coach really unhappy, especially if you lose the ball. Like right there.
There's Cochran, shot well wide, and Hopkins is going to hang on.
Well, you can see what he saw. I mean, when Cochran came in, and not only was Fraga on the right side of the net, but the D was on the other side covering the left side of the net. There was nothing to shoot at.
Bacagnini behind the net, being watched by a long pole there from Wayzata. That was Van Valkenburg getting a little time. Here's Cochran. He's a big kid, goes down, loses a handle, coming the other way. Joel Matthews. And whoever they run out there, whoever Chad Herr puts out on the field, they are fierce defenders. And there's no question. Here's a good pass. Seifert, shot, goal. Well, Seifert got it, and he had a quick release.
He of the long locks. Nice shot, though. Seifert's been doing a lot of feeding and stuff from behind. He finally got an opportunity. A nice pass here. Seifert just grabs it when he got past the guy, and he just rips it.
Time of the goal, 10:58.
Boy, you know what I really like about this Trojan team, too, Steve, is they're hitting the net. They're not missing the net with these shots. They're getting it right there.
So Seifert had an assist earlier in this quarter on a goal by Solly. Solly has 3. Seifert adds 1 there. And on the year, Seifert coming in 4 goals, no assists. And he's done a really good job over there. He's kind of run things from the left side and really gets a lot of touches. Here's Thomas, another face-off win. He's 8 for 9 face-offs tonight.
You can see Hopkins changed their strategy, too. They took Cochran out of there and put a long stick in and take the face-off. Sometimes that gives them an advantage over a standard Fogo. But not that time.
Seifert again. And Wayzata in control, leading this one 8-0. They were up 3-0 after 1, now lead at 8-0. Pass in front. Goes wild, goes to the far sideline. Big battle ensues. Someone shoved down. And Wayzata's going to hang on. This is Parker Wolf, a sophomore. Wolf getting a little time. Gets it into the middle, and Peterson and a shot and a goal. Jack Peterson, a freshman.
Boy, nice play. Came back up the top from below. Got it strack in the middle of the lane and just ripped it right here and gets an opening and just turns and rips and puts it right on the money.
First of the year for Peterson. What a thrill for him. Time of the goal, 11:43. Now 6 here in the quarter for Wayzata, and the Trojans are rolling.
Well, considering they're averaging 5.3 goals per game, I think they're doing better than their average right now, just about doubling it.
And what a thrill for Peterson getting an opportunity. And in a good spot. It was a good shot.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Nobody got on him right away, even though he had his back to the net. He didn't feel the pressure, and he could get a real nice extended arm shot.
There's Thomas. And Thomas loses that draw. You may have heard the hold there. Trojans get it. Big collision there. Someone was shoved down. They got another big collision. Landshut ran into the guy. That was Getz, and that's the end of the half. Second quarter comes to a close. But one of the stories, Chris Thomas, 8 out of 10 on face-offs. And Wayzata dominating Hopkins 9-0 here at the half. Andrew Solly, 3 goals in quarter number 2.
Did a great job. Control the ball again. Defense was just brutally beastly. Gonna be a rough night for Hopkins unless they get something changed up.
Yeah, and of course Wayzata coming in 2-8. It's a pretty good team, and they're going to be dangerous come section time. We'll come back. We'll have the first half highlights and quarter number 3. It is boys lacrosse. They're on a Thursday night at CCX.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
We are at the half. Wayzata leading Hopkins 9-0 earlier tonight in the girls' game. Wayzata beat Hopkins 15-5. Kind of a traditional double-header here on CCX every year. A year ago, we were over at Wayzata for this one.
Yep, this has been my 5th year of this doubleheader thing that they've done, and it's always fun. It was nice to see Hopkins here. I'm very impressed with the facilities here. It is really nice up here, and you got softball going on, you have baseball going on, and we saw some tennis practice, and it's really nice here. And I had a very pleasant evening. I'm glad I'm outside and doing this.
Yeah, great night. Beautiful facilities here at Hopkins. Let's take a look at the scoring. And it didn't take long for Wayzata to get in to the swing of things tonight. Jake Schneider early on, he rips one by the goaltender Hugh Day. 55 seconds in, and Wayzata was well on their way. And then Andrew Getz off a good feed from Andrew Solly. Gets one by Day. And Day had a pretty good first half. They gave up 8, or 9, excuse me. And then you see the goal there from Sarag, one of the long poles. And they were up 3-0 after 1. And then Andrew Solly took over the first of 3 goals. There's one, goal number 2 for Solly. Then Getz gets into the mix. And then there's the hat trick for Solly again. And then here's a good ball movement there. Great clear. And then it was Seifert. And then it was finally Peterson, the freshman, getting the goal there. You got to be happy for the youngster getting that first goal of the year at the 11:43 mark of quarter number 2. And Wayzata in command, leading Hopkins 9-0. And we got quarter number 3 coming up in a moment here on the CCX.
girls have been with you through every moment of your life. They were with you when you felt unbreakable, and with you when you had your heart broken. They were with you when you shared your love with the world, and with you when she became your world. They're still with you right now. But how well do you know them? You don't know my name.
We are back. Start of the third quarter. Chris Thomas out there to take the face-off for Wayzata. Adam Cochran, all Wayzata, 3 goals in the first. Make that 6 goals in quarter number 2, and they lead it 9-0 as we head for the third here. And Cochran's got him once. Let's see if he can get him again.
Got to get something to change here.
And I actually got him twice because there was a push by Thomas. And there you go. How about that? Hopkins comes out of there with it. Here's Jackson James, our leading scorer. He's had a couple of good shots. He has been hounded all night, and the Royals try and get it set up as they try and get on the scoreboard. Wayzata has not shut anybody out this year. Hopkins, unfortunately, has been shut out this year.
Look at how high the Trojan defense is out here. They're out past the 30-yard line. They will just not give an inch.
Yeah, they have been outstanding defensively. Here's Cochran. And now it's James as they set up way outside. And now he's going to begin his attack. He gets in on the left. Double team comes. And that's been true all night. Double teams all night for James. Agnini. And now Cochran. They go to the outside, get around a defender, and Joel Matthews get it down behind the net. And there's a pretty long pass from down below the goal line. And Hopkins hangs on to it. Taking some real punishment there. Here's Xavier Zagnini, senior attack. Really taking some shots from Zach Larry. Now they throw it away down below the end line. Too bad. They had good attack zone time there, but weren't able to get any shots in on a brand new goaltender and William King.
Yeah.
King in goal now. And now here comes Wayzata on the attack. Joel Matthews. They're in the royal blue tops down to our left. Here's Andrew Solly. Solly 3 goals in the third quarter. Leading scorer in the game for the Trojan. Here's Solly behind the net, trying to avoid a defender, trying to get in front. Longpole does a good job, gets it in front, and trying the tough shot, and not, looked like Wiskowski.
Yeah, Wiskowski. Another one of the substitutes that have come in all of a sudden.
Jonas Wiskowski, 5 goals on the year, got it in tight, almost a little too tight.
Yeah. Didn't quite know where to go with it once he got it, and he tried to go down low, and he kind of telegraphed it, but I don't think he's been in that position too much, Steve.
There's J.J. Martin for Hopkins. Trying to give it up, and we got a timeout for Hopkins. So J.J. Martin, one of the long poles for Hopkins, took it over the middle of the field. And now Hopkins will take one of their timeouts with 9:16 to go, down 9-0. And once again, there's William King, the goalie who came in for Danny Fraga. Fraga, a perfect 2 quarters. And now King will get the opportunity. He's a junior. And let's see if we have any numbers on King. He has played this year, but minimal time. He's appeared in 5 games, make this 6. And now he's going to get a chance here. And, of course, Fraga, the senior, so you'd assume that King is the heir apparent for Chad Herr and the Wayzata Trojans. As we mentioned earlier on, Wayzata tonight at Hopkins, and then 1 week from tonight, they get Stillwater at home at Wayzata. Hopkins 2 to go. Now they're at Providence on Saturday. That is a 1 o'clock game. And then Minneapolis here next Tuesday afternoon to close out the regular season. And then sections get going. And as we pointed out, it is amazing. You know, we think about Memorial Day coming up, and before you know it, state tournament around the corner again.
That's right. We're coming up, but you know, lacrosse is, you know, it's like the typical spring sport. It's a short season, so they get a lot of games in the course of each week. And you know, one of the things about going into sections too is you kind of want to give yourself a few days to rest. I mean, the attrition rate on you, you're tired, you're beat up, you're bruised. I mean, you can see how these guys are getting whacked. And with Wayzata's injuries, you know, so far this year, maybe a few days of rest before they went into sections will help.
Yeah, and speaking of the sections, we talked about they're going to be in that section with Maple Grove. It is a deep section, but based on what we've seen from Wayzata defensively, they are going to be a factor.
Right, you said it here. I think, frankly, I don't think it is too far from the truth. They might be the best 2-8 team in the state right now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, considering where they play, and they're playing the double load Lake Conference schedule. They play each team twice.
They get Minnetonka, they get Edina, they get Eden Prairie all twice. They've beaten Edina this year, and they played Minnetonka very tough this year, and they're number 1 in the state right now. So don't count on Wayzata. They get it in front. Oh, and a pipe. A shot from Cochran, and he hit the pipe.
Made a couple nice moves going in there, too. He beat 3 defensemen. There's one he beat another one there, and then he beat a third one right there.
And then he falls down. And
what's a poor guy got to do here? By gosh.
He's got to be gassed right now. And he does come to the sideline, but a whale of an effort for Cochran there as he hit the pipe.
But it's almost like a Rodney Dangerfield don't get no respect type thing, man. He worked really hard and he got nothing for it.
That was really just a flat-out power move to the net. And James has tried that a couple of times, and here comes Wayzata the other way. And with some speed up the far sideline, here they come on the attack. That was Spencer Amick. Amick, a senior, getting some time. Charged up the sideline. Now he'll come off, and Wayzata's going to set up.
Very untypical Wayzata. Well, I guess they are getting the ball back. Okay.
Yep. This is Waskowski. He gets to the front and gets a goal.
And he took a shot in the thigh. Oh, that feels so good with those sticks. Oh, my God, gosh. Now the junior coming out from the X position moved out in front and just worked himself around and put it in.
Hey, took one up high, took one on the leg. Not happy about it, but I think probably feels pretty good, even though he got a goal right there.
He'll get over it. Trust me, he'll get over it real quick. When it passed that goal line, yeah, I'm okay with that.
So Jonas Waskowski gets his 6th goal of the year. So he's had his name on the score sheet before. And the time of the goal here is 4:19. And Wayzata extends their lead to double digits at 10-0 here in the third. Here they come again. And this is Larry. Zach Larry, Jr. Larry, a long pole out there on the attack. And, of course, here's Andrew Solly over on the right side. They get it on top. And now they get it set up. Go down behind the goal line. Peterson. Peterson continues. Peterson had a goal, just a freshman. We got a ground ball. Who's going to come up with it? Wayzata has been really good in this category all night, Dan.
Yep.
Now we got a lot of sticks in there. And coming out of there is Hopkins. J.J. Martin flips it to the goaltender, Hugh Day. And now Day will clear. And here's Jackson James, 11 goals, 3 assists, couple of quality shots, but Fraga was able to stonewall him in the first half. Let's see if James can find a seam.
They just need to get something here. The main goal right now, I think, just the pride factor is get the goose egg off the scoreboard.
They were shut out by Minnetonka 15-0. And then they were able to shut out St. Paul 4-0. They're 1-1 in shutout situations this year. They'd love to get a goal here. They're in big trouble. Midway through the third, down 10-0. But here's James.
They're only averaging about 4 goals a game, or 4.6 goals a game. So, you know, and considering the competition against the Lake Conference, it's going to be tough for them to score. But, you know, we've seen some moments. I mean, they've created a few openings there. They could have 4 goals right now.
There's an unforced error on Hopkins as they tried to come to the near sideline. Goes out of bounds. Here's Wayzata ball. Weiner. Ben Weiner back there defensively. Here's a long clear. And all of a sudden Wayzata on the attack, far side. They get it into the middle. A shot and a save by Day. Hugh Day, another save. And now here comes Hopkins the other way quickly. They move it into the attack zone. Here's a shot from outside, skips wide. Rainier trying for his 11th goal of the year. That one just went wide. And we've talked about this many times before. Get those on net. Make the goaltender save.
Absolutely. Kind of an awkward position there. Of course, we saw the opposite from Wayzata when Mr. Getz got it in the middle, I believe, and with his back to the net and brought it around nicely. But he got his head around quickly so he could see where he's shooting at. That wasn't the case here.
Hopkins had some good attack zone time here in the third. Don't have anything to show for it yet. That one goes in toward the net. Good defense by Wayzata. This is a recording. They've been stellar all night.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, they anticipated too, even if that ball would have gotten all the way through. The long pole was already on his way before the ball even left the stick of the passing Hopkins attackman.
Van Valkenburg couldn't handle the pass, far side. Hopkins again. Jackson James coming onto the field. He'll take it. You know, James wants a goal. He's a big kid. He's a big, strong guy. But Wayzata has been really good. Here come the Trojans. Quickly the other way. They give it up. Here's Solly. And Solly finds Waskowski.
Waskowski with a patient move here. Got himself in good position in front. Basically as a postman, if you want to call it for lack of better words, and just makes a nice move. Pass one will come here, and then Solly sees Waskowski in front there. Look at Waskowski used the defense against the goalie and brought it around, and frankly, pretty easy goal.
Time of the goal, 7:54, 11-0 Wayzata. And that was just a beautiful feed from Andrew Solly. 3 goals, 2 assists.
Solly can score, but he also can dish the ball. I love seeing that. You know, a good distribution of passes. You know, he's got that makes 8 assists for him on the season. And you know, for not scoring very much, Wayzata hasn't so far this year. This is, you know, you're seeing a lot of good things coming out of the team in a lot of ways.
Here comes Wayzata again. Once again, Thomas, another face-off win. They get it down low, and who else? Waskowski.
Hey, Hopkins, Waskowski can score. Don't leave him alone in front of the net. Here's just a cool guy. I mean, he's cool and calm there. He gets the ball, and just look where he places it on this replay when we get a look at it. He's going to take it up, takes it up high once he gets the ball. Pass comes up, and it just brings it right low down into the 5-hole. Just like, you know, do this all the time, ladies and gentlemen. It's what I do.
And he's a big, strong kid. You're not going to move him off the ball. You know, he definitely can move and has good footwork inside.
Well, you got to get, you know, that might have been the fastest hat trick I've seen in a long time. But you got to get the stick into his hands. I mean, don't worry about pushing him up. Get it into his hands to alter the shot trajectory or knock it out of the stick.
Yeah, by my count, 3 goals in 3:41 of game time.
Wow.
For him. That's pretty good.
Well played, young man.
Yeah, and Thomas again, another face-off win as he continues to dominate in the circle. He may have never had a game in the face-off circle as good as this. He is flat-out dominated. Let's see if they can get 4 for Waskowski or Solly, both sitting on 3, and it's 12-0 Wayzata. Solly had 3 in quarter number 2, and now Wisconsin with 3 here in the third. Now it's Schneider playing catch with Getz. Getz has had a good solid game. Not a big guy, but has a good shot, has a goal, just a sophomore. He's going to be a big part of the Trojans' plans going forward. Yeah. Chad Herr, head coach, has to be pleased.
Well, he's part of in the beginning of the game, getting the Trojans off the schneid. You know, got a couple of goals early, and was very effective.
Wisconsin out, trying to get that ground ball, and he does. Scoops it up with the left hand, fires it ahead. Good play there. Schneider. And now here's Solly. Solly backpedaling.
Kind of looked like Muhammad Ali back in the day.
Getz over on the right. Here's Schneider. Schneider, shot goes wide and down deep, well near the end line was Wisconsin, and Wayzata going to hang on.
We're advertising for Sports Jam on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Keep an eye on the athletes in the community. Sports Jam will bring you all the news and information on it.
John and Jay do a phenomenal job. Have for years. Here's Solly. Tries to get it down low. It comes to Wisconsin. He loses it. Tries to get it back. He does. Fires it outside. Gets it in front. What a pass.
Nice save by Day there, too.
Boy, that was a good feed inside to Luke Marquardt. Marquardt couldn't get a shot away. Hopkins there to defend. Here's Solly. Wants to shoot. Probably doesn't want to hear from Chad Herr if he took a shot from out there.
Well, you know he could score from there, I'll tell you that.
And they move it around. There's Wisconsin. Getz. They get it out on top. Faking a shot is Schneider. And then they throw that one away, but who else is down deep to scoop it up? Jonas Wisconsin is an impressive player.
Yeah.
This guy does a good job. He's really good with the ball. And is in the right spot as well. Knows the game. Very good position. Look at Getz battle inside. That's the end of the quarter. Well, he's not a big guy, but Andrew Getz, boy, battling, and there's Jonas Wisconsin, the story of the third quarter. 3 goals, the only 3 goals, and after 3, it's 12-0. Wayzata. We'll be back to Hopkins for the 4th in a moment here on the CCX.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
There he is, Chad Herr, happy man tonight. His team in control, 12-0. And you get the sense that as this team builds for the section playoffs, this is one of those games where you get some confidence, and then they have an opportunity to play a very good Stillwater team to close out the regular season and really find out where they're at.
Well, they're looking good tonight. Everything's being executed the way it should be, according to, Coach Fell's, the way he sets stuff up. I think they needed one like this. Just one where they could let's just go out and play and just bury these guys. Because they've had all close games.
Yep.
And like I said, this is the first team they play with a losing record and the whole thing. And then they got Stillwater coming up. So Stillwater will be a big challenge for them just to see how much progress they've made. Because I said Stillwater's number 2 in the state right now. And that's a big chore to handle. But it might be the right thing now for them coming into sections.
Minnetonka number 1, Stillwater 2, Benilde 3, Prior Lake 4, Eden Prairie 5, then Eastridge, Edina, Egan, Shakopee, and Lakeville South. So no teams from the Northwest Suburban ranked yet. And here we go to quarter number 4, and Wayzata in command, 12-0, and trying to extend the lead. And Chad Herr playing a lot of people, as you might expect. They get it to the side of the net, and a shot there by Hayden Davison. And it's blocked away by Hugh Day. And even though he's given up 12, they still had a pretty solid game.
Yeah, no kidding.
Made some good saves tonight. And Hugh Day is just a junior, and he'll be back and anchor this Hopkins team next year. That one squirts out of play off the Trojans. And now Hopkins will get an opportunity. And can Jackson James get a goal here? See if Hopkins can get it into the attack zone. And they've had some scoring opportunities, and Danny Fraga was up to the task. He made some good saves in the first, and well, not the first quarter. He didn't see any shots, but in quarter number 2, made some good saves.
That's probably been the weak point of the whole thing. The goaltending is not getting very much, what do you call it, practice per se, but we're on running time right now. Hopkins, they want to, let's get that goose egg off there. Let's rack it up and go for it. Set it up, get an X behind, and start firing some shots. I don't care how far out you are. Let's start winging some shots at him and see if we get something by the new kid in the net.
And that is William King, the goaltender, in relief for Fraga, who played the lion's share of the minutes this year. And Wayzata's going to hang on as they try and close this one out. They led it 3-0 after one, 9-0 at the half. Andrew Solly is the one that really put this away. The 3 goals in the early part of quarter number 2 really kind of put this one out of reach.
Good point. And the other part of this, too, is just the stifling, nasty, mean defense by Wayzata.
There's a shot from outside.
Nice save.
Yeah, and a good save by Day. That shot uncorked by Joel Matthews. And now here's Jack Peterson, the freshman, has a goal. Only freshman on the varsity roster for Chad Herr and Wayzata. He has a goal tonight. Now we got a ground ball out toward the middle of the field. And it looks like Wayzata is going to ultimately prevail. Peterson came over to help for a little bit. And now it's Wayzata. Harrison Dow out of the middle, and Joel Matthews.
Well, there have been too many aspects of this game that Wayzata really hasn't dominated, to be honest with you. They've won the ground balls, they're winning the face-offs, defense is tight and mean, and their offense is clicking.
When you get into a game like Stillwater, you look at, we get a one in the middle and a save by Day. It came right into the scoring zone in the middle, but Day was up to the task. And now the clear, can they run it down? Oh, too bad. They couldn't run down the clear from off the save by Day.
Nothing is going forward for the Royals. It's going sideways, down, all around, but nothing going forward. Tough night.
Here comes Wayzata again, Dow. Now they get it behind the net as they set it up, and they used this a ton early, where they just kind of rotated around on the perimeter, waiting for someone to cut, come into the middle like that, and a shot and a goal.
Pretty, man, pretty. Single cutter, just single cutter coming out from the left, quarter turn coming around, quarter crescent, and just hit him right on the money, and it was a catch and a shot.
And that goal for Zach Clark, the junior, that comes at 3:55 of running time. And makes it 13-0 Wayzata. So Clark, that was just really a good feat. He was moving his feet, took it in stride, and pulled the trigger.
Yep, no one else is really moving on that play at all, Steve. He just found the opening and got in between the seams and went after it.
So Clark gets the goal, and you can see Chad Herr visiting with the goal scorer there. And here's Thomas. He is something else.
He won another face-off.
Yeah.
Steve.
This is a recording.
Newsflash.
Yeah. Yeah, he is so impressive out there. And to see these kids work on it before the game, and a guy like that, so quick and so strong. The quickness is incredible.
I can't tell you where Chris is going, but I know he's going to college as a Fogo. And they're getting a ride to be a face-off specialist. That's how important they are.
Yeah, and it is so impressive. If you get to a lacrosse game, spend some time watching warm-ups and watch those guys practice their craft. It is incredible. And the quickness he's shown. And on the flip side, Adam Cochran has won a couple of those against one of the top guys in the state in that category.
Yes, absolutely. Chris might be the guy in the state.
That's a huge advantage in this game. Here's Wayzata trying to get to the front, losing the handle. Is Braden Nelson. He's the leading scorer for Wayzata coming in, and they've done a good job on him. He hasn't had much. Here's James, and he gets a goal.
Dun-dun-dun.
Jackson James just takes it down the field and takes it all the way in and beats King, and Hopkins has a goal, and that comes at about the 6-minute mark, and James has his 12th of the year. A long time coming.
Well, picked up the turnover there, and he just got on his horses and started running. And he got a good opening here. He got his arms extended and just let it rip. Good for you, young man. He's been working hard all night. He finally got rewarded for his work.
He's a good player. He's a big kid. He can run, you can see, and he can shoot. Beat King there down low. And
first time he wasn't seeing Royal Blue and double.
Yeah. And he's been smacked around quite a bit tonight, and he hung in there and got a goal. 13-1 now. As we close in on 5 to go. Here running time, obviously, in quarter number 4. Akron almost came up with it. And here comes Wayzata the other way. For the Trojans, Parker Wolf. Wolf's going to give it up further outside. Here's Cade Sharaga. And then he gives it right back. Sharaga, one of the long poles, trots off. And Wayzata is going to set it up. And move it around the perimeter. And some of the top scorers out of there for Wayzata. Here's Clark. Clark has one skip wide. And Wayzata's going to maintain. But one takeaway is Braden Nelson hasn't had a lot of room tonight.
Nope.
I don't even know if he's had a shot on goal tonight.
Nope. I don't think he has, actually. But I like what Wayzata's doing here. A lot of kids are getting to play. I think right now they're mainlining certain people to be shooting, and some people are not going to be shooting.
And Wayzata working ever closer to the goal. Jack Peterson. And for a big school like Wayzata with a lot of kids out for lacrosse, for Peterson to be on the varsity roster as a freshman and getting a goal here tonight and getting an opportunity bodes well.
A lot of times we assume that the big schools got the big programs up, but we were talking to the girls coach for Wayzata, and she was hurting this year.
Struggling.
She only had 30, and now she's got like 40 coming in, and next year they've got the three U14 teams in the youth, so that'll build it up. But it's amazing where sometimes it'll flux on you.
James carries it into the attack zone. Took a couple of shots. Hopkins now, as we approach 3 to go in this one. Wayzata leading Hopkins 13-1. Steve Thompson, Dan McFicken here on CCX. And that one just thrown away. Oh, tough pass. Kind of short hop pass from Adam Cochran down behind the net. And Ethan Myers couldn't flag it down.
Look at that pass at that distance, Steve. Man, well done.
Larry carries it ahead. Kind of a little give and go play. Not there. Out from the outside. Shot by Dow goes wide. And Wayzata will continue in the attack zone with 2:30 to go. Beautiful night here at Hopkins. They get it in front. Got a ground ball. And can Hopkins get it out of there? Wayzata gets it back. And behind the net is Peterson.
Yeah, pretty classy move here by the Trojans. Kind of moving it around, just playing it out.
Once again, 3-0 after one, 9-0 at the half. They get it in front and into the scoring zone, and just stepping right out in front of the goaltender, Joel Matthews. Yeah, Matthews couldn't turn that one down. Or maybe it was Peterson again.
It's Peterson.
It is Peterson.
Yeah.
Peterson with his second from behind the net, just stepped in front. No one was there.
9th grader getting an opportunity here. Picks it up, comes through, just has a nice opening and puts her away.
And for Peterson, time of the goal comes at about 10:30. And that is goal number 2, and it's 14-1 Wayzata. And when someone gives you an opportunity like that, you better take it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He just was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to put this one away. And here's Chris Thomas on the move. Gets it down low. Not able to handle the pass inside was Colin Hansen. It's picked up by Hugh Day, the Hopkins goalie. And now Hopkins tries to clear. His Day comes way out of his net, and they get it ahead. Let's see if they can get it over to James. They can't. Wayzata almost steals it away. James trying to run it down. Jackson James does. And now they get it down to the end line. We're under 30 to go. Wayzata well on their way to their 3rd victory of the year, but they are going to be dangerous in this section. We'll see how they do against Stillwater 1 week from tonight. Wayzata's going to pick it up, and that's going to do it. As the Trojans are just going to trot down the field. Here's Larry. Larry, the long pole over there. Not slowing down, and that's going to do it. Wayzata rolls to a 14-1 victory over the Hopkins Royals tonight. Earlier in the girls' game, Wayzata beat Hopkins 15-5. And this was the theme all night, Dan. This Wayzata team, even though they're just 3-8, are going to be tough.
Yeah, they are going to be tough. It's, they've got a nice package. They got a great face-off specialist. That's so key because you can dominate the ball. Yep. Their goaltender Frago looks good, but their defense is beastly. They only gave up 6 goals a game against that schedule. Yeah, somebody in the sections they don't want to play these guys. They do not want to play these guys.
And they have balanced scoring. We saw it from Solly tonight. A guy who didn't do much tonight, Braden Nelson, 17 goals coming in. They've got Seifert has 11 goals coming in, had a couple of tonight. So, they've got some balance there.
Yeah, they do. And this gentleman right here, number 26, Jonas Waskowski, all of a sudden, bam, hero of the 3rd quarter, and had 6 goals all year. So, a lot of these kids are stepping up, and they're healthy. That's one of the big things, too. Everybody's back in the fold now. They're ready to go full tilt, and they didn't have that throughout most of the year. So, Wayzata's going to be dangerous in the sections.
So there it is, one in the books tonight. Wayzata rolls to the victory over Hopkins tonight. Once again, real quickly, they will finish the season 1 week from tonight at home against Stillwater. Meanwhile, Hopkins 2 to go Saturday at Providence, and then next Tuesday at Minneapolis. Our next boys lacrosse Monday night here on CCX. Blaine at Maple Grove. Huge showdown in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Been a lot of fun. Big thanks to our CCX crew doing a double header here tonight. Once again, Wayzata beats Hopkins tonight by the final 14-1. Good night.